Hey Howard, how are you?
Can't complain. I'm doing good. Well,
Yeah,
but
you're like,
the funny thing, listening to you, I saved about 50 grand because I was really I had 600 shares in Nvidia. Now I'm down to 300 because when you said get off of margin, I got the hell out of margin. So that saved me a
one second.
decent amount of
Are
money.
you talking paper now or real money?
Oh, I'm talking real money on the video. I'm talking real money.
Yeah,
I had
okay.
600 shares in the video. About
Okay.
it probably not that long ago. Probably probably about a month ago. Now maybe now when you started talking to get off a margin and you told the story about some
Yeah,
guy
the
was
media guy, yeah. So you went out to margin. Okay. Did you
yeah.
sell at the loss?
No. I've been in the video for about 4 years, so
Okay,
I mean
so
I
at
made
least you
some
didn't
money.
lose money. Okay, good. Okay, but
So anyway,
Well,
thank
yeah,
yeah,
yeah, you know how the market is.
yeah, but you're not a margin, right?
Oh no, I got out of margin.
Okay, good. So that's good. So that
Oh no, I'm very happy. I'm very happy because I like I said I've been in the market since '92, and I know that just I know that using options is seems to be a good way to go, especially the that wheel strategy. And but what happens is all the courses I've ever taken, there's a tendency for they don't break it down like you really want to break it down. I mean, for example, in we when we learn surgery, we have to we have to do 1,000 cases before they just let us go out on the public. And we sitting there with a serious surgeon, and they're very serious as the military, staring at you, waiting for you to do something wrong. And so
yeah.
that's how we had to learn, and we had to learn by minute. And so and that's the only way to trade the option, because that option tree is not something that because I took courses where they wanted to explain it to you in 20 minutes, and it just doesn't work. You just explain to somebody in 20 minutes. I read about 50 books on options, and it's almost like 49 of them are a waste of time because you really need to know how to what are you doing, deltas and the return on investment, everything we learned in the class, and you need to break it down. The person has to, just like you did, you got to take your time, break it down, and like what I did was when I first went to medical school, uh, the only way to really learn is to learn almost on a daily basis, and then our professor would actually test us every week. And so by learning every week, just like we did in your class, by learning every week, that's how you learn. I mean, I would get up like for the last 48 hours before I would meet on Tuesdays with you guys. I would study. I would look at the tapes. I would study. I would look at the tape just like I did when I was studying how to do obstetrics. And ironically, the guy was a mean dude, but at the end we all loved the guy because that's how we really learned. I used to read a whole textbook every morning near the end because once I became a fourth year, I had to and I had to be a leader of about 20 people, and I couldn't have some intern knowing more than me. So every morning I'd have to get up and read the textbook, 1,000-page textbook every morning. I'd have to scan it with about four of the books, and
What
then
what
I'd be ready for the professor.
what was I mean?
No, you were just strict. I mean, you're a strict dude. I mean, you have to be strict. I mean, when you're playing with money, or like in medicine, when you're playing with lives, you have to be strict. It's not like we're not like lawyers. We got 2 3 years to prepare the case. I don't care what case it is. They got 2 3 years to prepare the case. Sometimes in surgery, you got a couple of seconds to figure out what you're gonna do. You got to think back from your experience. And obviously, we all know you have good experience, and you have to. It's a matter of. And we talking serious money. I mean, I'm kind of afraid to actually start, but I know that's the next step, and that's I got to do what I got to do.
What was your biggest hesitation before joining the mentorship program, and how do you feel about it now?
Well, the biggest hesitation is trading options. I mean, options is very detailed. It's a very detailed strategy. Trading stocks, and and the people I know that seem to have done best, they parents or their fathers were they actually were stockbrokers. And so it's a very detailed, it takes a lot of time. And that's what the program, doing the hours and hours of the program and really being accountable by Fatty being holding us accountable on the time that we have the question and answer or the discussion period with the other group. Would allow you, would essentially push you to study. You have to study for it. We have the tapes. We tape the discussion groups. We study them. You can study them 5 times. I would study every study group. I would study as best I can because I'm a practicing physician, but I would study the best I can at least 5 times. Because the way I learned medicine, I read every textbook in obstetrics and gynecology. I read every textbook probably at least 20 times. And that was about at least 100 textbooks. So I would just go over it and go over it. You can, go back and forth. I mean, thank God for the way you can tape the Zoom, or in this day and age, you can go back and forth. So you can go back and forth. You can put in slow motion, go back and review what you need to review. And then he has the portal that's very organized. And then you can review what you really need to review. And then come Tuesday afternoon, it's test time. As far as I'm concerned, it's test time. He's testing you every week. And that's what you need. I mean, I never had a program where they would test you every week. So because we be tested every week, you're accountable. I mean, you either test it or you're going to embarrass yourself in the group. And that's how you learn. That's how we learn medicine, get embarrassed. You'd have medical students and nurses, everybody standing around, 40 people standing around and they ask you a question. So you're going to get embarrassed. You don't want to get embarrassed because you have to see these people every day. So that's the same with when we meet in the group and with Fatty being our professor, then he would teach us what we have to do. And he would teach every detail of trading options or selling the puts or, selling the calls and doing the covered calls or the wheel strategy, which, and we're dealing with real money. So, and we lost some money because the stock market is going up and down. So you can see what you're doing. And he showed us how to really get on the internet, the interactive broker site, which is not that easy. It's not that friendly. But once he shows you in detail, then it's no problem. Now I'm doing the putts. I did probably 200 or 300 putts during the simulated trading, which is what you have to do, which they don't do. Because there's programs that tell you can just follow me or this and that. But if you don't really know options, it doesn't even make any sense. It should be against the law, but they sell these programs, and there's a lot of them. And if you don't get to the right one and you don't have a professor, just like professors in college or in medical school, you don't have the professor who cares, then you're not going to, you're just going to get lost. You're going to waste your money. Well, the biggest hesitation for me was that I've been trying to do options for at least probably about 10 to 12 years. And I never could. And I mean, I don't call myself, many degrees I had, I don't call myself a dumb guy or anything like that. It's difficult, especially to know what you're doing. And just to have someone follow you is just very important. It's just like, I work with truck drivers at a certain point in my career, and most of those guys, the real truck drivers that drive across the country and they're out on the road for 28 days out of 30, they daddies or their mothers, but they daddies were truck drivers. And when you up in the Colorado mountains, you have to be with somebody that knows what they're doing. If not, you're gonna do that. You and that 20-ton truck go skid right off the road. And so you need someone like Friday to make sure that he's keeping you in track, and he's holding you accountable for each lesson, and he breaks it down. I mean, it starts off. I mean, I've been in the market for almost 25 to 30 years, but he breaks it down, and it seems a little slow, and he teaches you technical analysis, fundamental analysis. But when you really go over it, you learn something every time. I learned something about technical analysis and really what these professionals do with the indicators and things like that. I mean, and you have to go over it over and over again, and then you have the tapes to follow it. So it's like going back over your book, studying for your test, hours at a time. So it's the way to go, I would say. And really, it's not too much money. I mean, honestly, it's really not too much money, because I was telling him before I got on, he saved me thousands of dollars by getting me off margin. And right now, when the tech stocks have sunk 20%, so it is, so the amount of money you spend is well worth it. And you're dealing with someone that knows what they're doing, and that's what you have to do. I mean, like I learned surgery by professors that have been in the business. They had already operated for 40 years. Some of them were 80 years old, but they had been in the business for 40, 50 years, and that's how you learn. And it was tough guys. You know, I had to get up 4 a.m. and study. And like I said, I studied for Fatty's course about 10 hours. I kind of cram it a couple of days before the course, because we would get together on Tuesday, so it'll give me the weekend to study for it. And you'd be surprised, you really do have to study for this. It's like taking a real course. And you go to USC, my school, University of Southern California, you go to school, it costs $75,000 a year. So that's a lot of money. In other words, to become a doctor costs over $1 million. So you got to start thinking, a little bit of money it's really not a whole lot of money to learn especially to learn correctly.
And how do you feel about your decision going into the course? Are you content? Are you happy? Or you're regretting
I'm very happy. Matter of fact, I think most of us want to continue. We want to continue the course. We wish the course continued on. We don't want to leave. We're little disciples. We don't want to leave the program at this point. But we all know that at a certain point, you got. It's like anything else. I got to do my first surgery. I would have to do it, by myself or with an assistant. But I'd have to do my own case. So eventually, we have to get out there, just like anything else. It's like you let your kids go to college, or let your kids go to kindergarten. They have to. Gotta let them go. They may be crying on that first day, but you gotta let them go. So we all pretty soon. We all gonna be doing our own trades, things like that. And trading the option, which if you really understand the way the market is, it's probably one of the smartest ways to go. And then just like Fatty would tell us, that's how Buffett, with selling puts, that's how you value the stock and you get in at the right price, the price you want to get in. And he breaks it down that you have to be a good stock, stay off of margin, tells you what not to do, things like that. Because you can lose money. This is real money.
Okay. Question: How did the course help you, or how did the course impact your confidence in investing?
Well, I'm confident that I can do the options. I'm confident I can do. I can listen. If I listen to these different options and things like that on CNBC or Fox Money or things like that, I understand what getting protection on stocks, things like that. So you need that confidence, because you really kind of playing around. You playing around. I mean, back in the day, we would do mutual funds. You would have the guy, but if you're trying to trade stocks and you want to, problem with ETFs, you kind of stuck with a lot of mediocre stocks in the ETF. But with you trade individual stocks, then you have to have confidence, because the market is all about sentiment. That's how the market.
But how did the course help you increase your confidence? Did it help you increase your confidence?
Well, yeah, because I just wasn't able to pick up trading options. And so now I feel like I can I have the confidence to trade options and definitely try to sell the puts, bring in the income, because I'm getting close to retirement, and I already have a nest egg, but I want to get income from that nest egg, and I want to do it on my own, because the years I've had brokers and the years I've used mutual funds, it's like Buffett says, you might as well just put in the S&P 500 ETF, because you're not going to be able to beat them. But if you really pay attention to the wheel strategy, and you can do what Fatty says and get the 2% a month, then that's going to be enough to do a little bit better than the market, and it's a little bit more with options. You really know, you kind of know what you're going to get, what your return on investment is going to be.
Beautiful. What was the most valuable lesson you learned in the course, if you have to pick one or two things?
Well, the most valuable lesson is pushing you, because I've been in courses where I only got through the first month. So the most valuable lesson is meeting regularly with Fatty and the group, or with Fatty, listening to him, just like you learn in college or medical school, is learning learning from someone that knows what they're doing, that was the biggest thing. And you learn it individually. And you're learning, and then when he tests us, I mean, we have a test every end of every session you test us. So you're not going to learn if you just. That's how you learn. That's how I learned, and I know that's how most degrees. Once you leave, you get into college or professional school. That's how you learn. You learn by being tested at the end of the week. It's like you get these weekly quizzes. And we're dealing with real money. I mean, when we start, some of the guys have probably already started. I mean, I already got a big stock holding, so I'm dealing with real money. And I do use the indicators and things like that. I want to work on my timing a little bit better, when to buy the stocks, as opposed to just, okay, I'm gonna buy the video because it's when I bought the video, it wasn't the biggest. Now it's the biggest stock in the world, but. I mean, a lot of it was just luck. I mean, I ain't got time to be doing luck, because I mean, at my age, I can't go back and work 30 more years. I mean, I could, but I'd be over 100 years old, so I can't do that.
Question. So the course is 12 weeks. Describe when, like, there's a moment in the course whereby everything clicks in. When was that, and how did it feel when things start to click in? Because in the beginning, everybody's so confused. So when in the course, in the 12 weeks, do you think that everything clicked in and it started to make sense?
I think it clicked in around week 7 or 8. Once we started doing the options, because I took the course, forward to learn how to do options. So after about 2 to 3 weeks of, just following along with the course, following, kind of slowly, how to set an option, and looking at the option tree and things like that. So I'd say about 7, 8 weeks, and then that left us enough time, about 4 to 6 weeks, to practice, which is the reason, just like in everything else, you just got to practice makes perfect. Yeah, but I know the pro basketball players, a lot of those guys still shoot 1,000 shots a day, and they don't miss but a few of them, and that practice makes perfect, and then that's why they make $100 million a year. I mean, he's a cool guy. I mean, I think he's younger than me, but he seems kind of like you learning from almost like a parent figure, in that he knows what he's doing. But I guess more like professors. You're like in the professor, they know what they're doing. They got a lot of experience, and he's patient. If you got a question or you want to go back, or we got the guy out of the country and things like that, he's willing to probably sleep deprived, things like that. He's willing to go back, review all your questions, and leaves enough time. And he reminds you a little bit of the professor when the class is over. You're trying to get to the party, and Fatty's going on for another extra hour or hour or two. And I'm on the West Coast. I'm in Los Angeles, Beverly Hills area. And it's not too late, getting out the course at 9 o'clock is not too late, after 3-4 hours. But I know the guys on the East Coast is getting toward midnight, but he's still pushing us because he wants to make sure, we learning and keeping up the pace. And that's the big thing, because all the course I've ever taken with stocks or even options in the past, you eventually, at a certain point, you just kind of get lost. But you got to meet, and you want to make sure you're not getting embarrassed by the group setting, and finally, he's a cool guy, but he's like he don't mind kind of embarrassing you a little bit, because he's a professor. That's how professors teach you. You have to. It's like your kid. Sometimes you got to kind of get on your kid a little bit so they'll learn.
Okay, question.
That's how
what would you say to someone who is on the fence? He wants to come to the course, but he's hesitating because of money or time. Like, what would you say to someone who is hesitating, who's on the fence, who wants to join, but he's hesitating a little bit?
Well, if he wants to learn options, if he wants to learn options, he's going to waste his time trying. You can't read it. Options something you can't read it. Like I say, I've been trying to do options for over 10 years, and you can't do it. And these other programs that tell you, the guy from Fox, Charles Payne, all those guys, or even the Jurian brothers, all those programs, they got 300 or 400 people. So if you're lucky to get one question in, I mean, they're national. They're on national TV. So, in Fatty, it was a small group. So a small group setting. That's where you learn. Like in surgery, we ain't got 1,000 people trying to operate on one patient. It's just you and maybe one or two other people. That's the way you learn. So the small setting, and if not, you're just gonna waste your time. You're gonna be like me 12 years later talking about I still don't really understand. I really can't do the option. Or you're gonna lose like what is it, 78% of the people that write calls and things like that, lose their money or lose their whole account. And so you need someone who has that professor teaching abilities to teach you, and that's how you're gonna learn. If not, you just gonna waste your time. I got 5 shelves full of books from the stock. I was one of these guys that I'm gonna read everything. I'm gonna read every book on stocks. So I got 3 or 4 shelves, probably over, I don't know, 200 or 300 books on stocks and things like that. But these programs is really the way you learn. You really need to. You have to have that mentorship, or someone that knows what they're doing to really get you over the hump, and so for you to get out there and make real money. And if not, you really gonna waste your time. So this is just what you got to do. And I think everybody in my group seems like that's how they feel. I think that most of them guys are real estate, but I just know that I need to do the options, and I've read enough about it, and the options and the way he trades them is the level that he has us learning, and he's warning us how not to lose money. And he's lost money. I know I've lost money, and so I'm telling you, I've had big accounts, and I don't care what they say. The people you sit there and tell you, but they most of them is telling you after the fact. I mean, in which anybody, hindsight's 2020. So you got to learn. You really have to learn this stuff yourself. And the only way you learn is you have to invest in yourself. And by doing that, you have to have someone that knows what they're doing, like Fatty, to teach you to be very specific about what to do. And I know what options is something that it's like surgery. You have to have somebody standing right there that knows what they're doing. You ain't going out there just winging it, because you kill somebody. And in the stock market, you lose a lot of money if you just, especially with options, if you get out there and think you just gonna place a trade and understand. You have to have someone to really break it down, almost like minute by minute. This is how you do it, and then look over your work, things like that. And you have the tapes. You have the tapes to follow over, and the mistakes you made, you can go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, and he explains what you do and what not to do.
Okay, good. The course was 12 weeks. So compared to the beginning of the course, do you feel that right now you are ready psychologically and skill-wise to invest in live trading soon?
Yeah, I think so. I know what way I am. I know I'm definitely. I'm gonna start small, like anybody would tell you to do. I'm gonna start small, but and then I still have the simulated trading account. I still do my. I'm gonna still try to continue doing on that account. And but yeah, I think after 12 weeks, I think that's enough time. I mean, I think if we sat there for another month, it would be it may be a little weird to just continue to go over and over, because he doesn't explain it to us. I mean, we're at the level, but the last month he explained it over and over. But that's how you learn, though. He explained over and over again how to do this simple strategy and options, which we all know there's 50 strategies, and he's telling us to stick to these 2 strategies and do that. So yeah, I think 12 weeks is enough time.
Okay, good. Last question. Would you recommend this program to others? And if yes, why?
Well, because there's a lot of people. I mean, because I know a lot of different physicians. I mean, all of us, invest, and some of them in the real estate, some of them in the stocks. But it's not that many of us that understand options. And I feel like now I have the confidence to trade options and sell options, things like that. And I think it's reasonably priced. It's a good. I think it's a good program. I would definitely recommend it for people who want to trade options. And I really don't. I can't think of no other way to do it. honestly, because looking at that option tree is difficult. It's slightly difficult. It's slightly a difficult thing to do, and you got to break it down.
Okay. Would you feel proud recommending this program to your friends?
Yeah, I think if they want to know options, I think I would say this is something you'd have to do. Yeah, I think I would tell me I think they would feel like it's just like it's just like when they were in medical school, professional school, law school, whatever. I think they feel like that's how they learn. It's a serious business. So that's how you got to learn. I mean, Fatty's serious. We take it serious. We get in there. It's serious time, and we try not to miss any time. And then he's willing to do the extra time, and deal with the technology of it.
Great. Thank you very much, Howard. Is there anything else you want to add or tell the people who are listening to this?
Well, I think if they have other programs, I just don't know no other program. And I've looked at maybe about at least over 10 programs specifically for trading options. I've even wasted money on other programs. And I'm just here, honestly telling them that do not, just take this program. You want to learn options the right way and not to lose money. And I think that, 12 weeks, 3 months is enough time to learn. And, take it serious. And you do it just like we used to learn, just like we learn in medicine, medical school. You got to learn, you got to go daily, weekly, get tested, daily, weekly, get tested, daily, weekly, get tested. And by someone that knows what they're doing. Just like I could teach somebody how to do surgery because I've done it for 35 years versus, another intern teaching somebody. But I've done enough cases where I've seen everything 10 times. So you got to learn from a professor, somebody knows what they're doing.
Thank you very much,
If
Howard.
not,
okay, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say if not, you're gonna lose money. And the stock market, we all know that the whole Wall Street's business. It's kind of like Las Vegas. It's built on the people coming there losing their money. That's why they got the casinos got marble, and like I said, they got marble in the lobby. I don't have marble in the lobby of my house. It's nice, but I ain't got no marble in the lobby.
Okay, cool. Thank you very much for this testimony.